Hey guys, I'm Randy Unger, and this is another episode of Unger the Radar, where we talk all things film. And I have a wonderful group of fine film critics with me tonight. With me in person tonight, we have no stranger to the show, Mr. Matt Roren.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
It's great to be here in person. This is officially the first Under the Radar that I've done wearing pants in well over a year.
Yeah, beans for me. So it's a milestone, I'd say. Yeah. And joining us through Zoom, Mr. Rob Harris. Welcome back, Rob.
Thanks, Randy. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, definitely. So I love having the in-person and the online worlds kind of coming together, colliding, and this should be a very interesting show.
I also like how he's in front of Venetian blinds because it reminds me of The Office.
Mhm.
And it's like a gym cutaway.
Yeah, very Office.
There we go.
I love it. Awesome. Rob, what are you watching this week? What are you reading? I know you're a big reader as well.
Yeah, I'm glad that you asked, Randy. Actually, I picked this up at the store.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Very appropriate.
I was really kind of compelled to find out more about the story and what inspired the film that we're going to be talking about. So, I mean, I've been reading that very much so.
Okay. Well, we'll have to have you back on to give like a little recap, what you thought of compared to the movie and the book. I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, gladly.
Sweet. Mr. Roren, always watching something.
I was watching, and I'm also reading too. Right now, I'm reading Dance Macabre, the Stephen King nonfiction book, where he basically talks about the history of horror in media and books, TV,
awesome.
and radio, film. So I'm almost done with it.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty good.
A Stephen King nonfiction. Okay.
Yeah.
Those are two phrases you don't really hear.
Yeah.
A lot.
I know.
Talking about the industry.
Sounds really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I'd be curious to check it out.
But watching wise, I'm back on that Disney, the endless
You're
Disney
back.
quest. Man, right now I'm watching just starting season 2 of Bonkers, the cartoon.
Nice.
That's one of the few animated series I never really got into.
Yeah, this is my first time seeing.
He's like a psychotic cat cop.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's like a crazy coon cop.
Okay.
Cat, yeah. And so I'm watching that for the first time ever.
Nice.
I'm watching Home Improvement season 2 now.
I love Home. That was such a great show.
It's like one of those things where I honestly was like, this is gonna be garbage when I get back. Like, it's like I loved it as a kid,
Yeah.
and I'm not second, and it holds up so well, and it's so good. It amazes me that it's like as good as it is.
How many seasons was that?
I think 7.
7. Because I remember like the last couple seasons were very depressing.
Well, yeah, they got into the like, let's give Jill cancer and all that stuff. Where it's like,
God.
And it was always like next week on a special Home Improvement, and then like the youngest kid became goth.
Yeah, that was Randy, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, so I did those. I just finished season 2 of Herman's Head,
Nice.
which was good.
Also, William Ragsdale is going to be at the, I think, Pennsylvania HorrorCon later this month.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Friday Night is
Oh
one of my all-time faves.
I love Friday Night.
And yeah, so I did all those, and I watched some movies for the first time, including The Mighty Ducks. I had never seen The Mighty Ducks before, and I absolutely loved it. And
boy, that's a great movie.
I wanted to be like, hey everyone, why didn't you tell me how good this movie was? Oh wait, you all did, and I just ignored you.
Almost 30 years later.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I watched Home Alone 2 and realized that I had never actually watched it. I've seen
Like on TV.
I've seen so many clips of it.
I like it.
And I'm like, I've never actually watched this whole movie.
I actually prefer it to the first one.
Yeah.
I'm a diehard New Yorker because I love it.
I don't know. Like it's one of those things where I found it a little lackluster.
Oh, really?
I mean, because it's like basically the same shtick as the first one, and I just thought it was more well done in the first one.
Yeah.
It was still enjoyable.
It's just the same movie.
It really is
repeated in New York.
I mean, there's definitely elements.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lady who gets them attacked by pigeons, which is great. A pigeon lady.
Yeah, like that was like one of the best characters I think that they brought into it. And like, I mean, you know, you have Rob Schneider and Tim Curry, you know, which also had like in a big way. Like
so great cast, you know. And it's probably the only children's movie that has a future president in it.
There's a very funny. There's a video on YouTube. It's dubbed. I'm not going to repeat it because there's a certain quote from our former president that is dubbed into the scene. Nice. Kevin asked Donald Trump, "Do you know where the payphones are?" And then Trump is like, "Yeah, just go right there and grab it by the." And I'm not going to repeat it. It was cringeworthy. Anyway, as I still can't believe Mighty Ducks first time.
I know it's crazy.
That's so cool. Did you watch it with your kids, by the way?
No, I watched it at work.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, I only watch horror movies with my kids now.
It should be flipped.
It's one of those things where like now they're like take me to see horror movies. I'm gonna watch horror movies. So I watched Poltergeist with them a couple weeks ago. We watched it part 2 because they watched part 1 without me. But I've seen it, so okay. All right. And what was the other thing? Oh, and then they wanted me to take them to see Old.
They did?
Yes.
Wow, they're very mature for their. It's a heavy movie.
So I brought them to see that.
All right.
And,
we may, and by the way, we may or may not be reviewing that in the near future.
Okay. Well,
I'll keep you guys posted. But as for myself, I'm on this also an ever-going quest after the Kaminsky method. I just finished. Well, I didn't finish, but I saw most of Michael Douglas's filmography.
Right.
Which is
amazing.
Down to
Arkin.
Yeah. Now I'm on Alan Arkin.
What a career!
Yeah.
What a career!
It's a longer career than
Douglas. Oh yeah, definitely.
And the best movie so far I've seen, one of the only movies it's called Poppy, and it's from 1969. And Arkin basically plays a Puerto Rican father. They live in this crappy area, I think in Manhattan, and he basically wants a better life for his 2 kids. He's a single dad, and he decides to go to Miami with them and then ship them off into a boat to go to Cuba so they can get a better life, so they can get adopted or found and raised.
Well, they get free healthcare.
There you go. That's the message, I guess. Yeah, free healthcare. But he's so good because he has this face where he could play a villain.
Oh yeah.
But also a very endearing like anti-hero. It's kind of a very interesting style.
He's played a lot of bad guys and a lot of good guys.
Yeah. So I'm currently on a binge watching his stuff. Yeah. Also, I wanted to mention Jungle Cruise, which I saw yesterday. And if you have kids, this is the perfect movie for them.
Oh, what was on?
Jungle Cruise.
Oh yeah, I saw it with them.
Oh, you did?
On Thursday.
Perfect.
Yeah, it was
so much fun.
Yeah, it definitely had that like 80s adventure movie feel.
Yeah,
which I haven't felt it out of a movie in a long time.
It definitely tries to be like Indiana Jones, and it sort of succeeds. It's just the last act.
It's like one of those B-level Indiana Jones ripoffs.
Yeah, which is Dwayne Johnson and is it Emily Blunt? Emily Blunt. They have great chemistry. I love them together, and they look good too. So, and the movie looks good. The visual effects are by ILM. It's just the third act, the final act of the film really was kind of for me because it felt very Pirates of the Caribbean. All CGI and
it definitely has like a weird twist that you don't see coming. I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah,
I mean, to me, it was very reminiscent of Crystal Skull.
Okay.
The third act of Crystal Skull.
All the swinging around and
it's like there's a lot of like jungle adventure,
right.
And then there's like a surprise thing, and you're like, oh, that changes like everything.
Right. It definitely tries to be Crystal Skull, and that's why I say it's perfect for kids. It's one of those. Also, I just recently I'm on episode 4 of the Netflix series Glow.
Nice.
Which is awesome. It was recommended to me by, was it by you or
Not by me,
somebody else?
I still haven't watched it yet, but it's on my list, my to-do list.
A wrestling show, right?
Yeah, basically it takes place in the 80s, and it's about a group of young women, aspiring actresses. One of them played by Alison Brie from Community. She's like the star. And basically they all get involved with Mark Maron, who plays the director of this wrestling show, which is a very weird idea back then. It's sort of like reality TV, scripted.
The Glorious Ladies of Wrestling.
Yeah, and I believe it's created or written or it's done by somebody who was involved with Orange is the New Black, who definitely knows how to write women well, strong female characters, and there's a lot of them in this one. So that's Glow on Netflix. I really recommend it. So yeah. So I just wanted to, let's just get into our first review, right? So The Green Knight. This is a very interesting film. The first thing that I was attracted to was the fact that it's by A24, one of my favorite production companies. They do a lot of indie stuff. They're more mainstream now, but kind of like an indie flavor. And Dev Patel stars in this medieval epic fantasy about one of King Arthur's knights, newly appointed knights, who goes on a quest to thwart and vanquish the mystical Green Knight. And it's basically about his quest, his journey in meeting the Green Knight. I'm not going to give too much away, but the movie is visually beautiful. I love the look of this film. I've loved Dev Patel pretty much not since Slumdog Millionaire, but since The Man Who Knew Infinity. A movie he did a couple years back.
That I didn't see.
Jeremy Irons. Yeah.
Right. I think the first thing I saw him in was Lion.
Okay.
Which was fantastic.
Nice.
I still haven't seen Slumdog Millionaire.
It's good.
I love Danny Boyle, but I was like, kind of like, I don't know about this one, and I just never saw it.
It's good. I think it might be a little overrated, but it's still a quality film. I think it won Best Picture that 2008.
Yeah.
So we'll check it out. But yeah, The Green Knight. I wasn't blown away, unfortunately. I wanted a lot more going into it. I was expecting something really crazy from A24. It's one of the few films that I think you have to see more than once to really grasp what's going on, to really catch what you may have missed the first time. Movies like that come along every now and then, and this is definitely one of them. But Rob, what was your take on The Green Knight?
What you just said about seeing it more than once, I agree with you completely. Visually, extremely interesting. Like I didn't really know what to expect going into this film, but it really inspired me to read the original epic poem, which has been interesting in itself. But yes, some of the dialogue was difficult to pick up. Just in the way that it's delivered, it's almost like otherworldly. But just really very interesting overall. But yeah, I kind of wanted to see a little bit more, from the story. It is just in the way that the story is engineered by nature, anticlimactic, but still interesting. Very, very like haunting quality about it. It's almost like witnessing like a nightmare. I felt watching it, like really like,
real
uncomfortable at times, and it was like almost painful to watch the main character at times, to see what he was going through. But yeah, I mean, very interesting. I'm glad that I saw it, really inspirational.
It's really more about the journey as not really the goal, the end goal. It's just, it's a very interesting. It's kind of like there were these Nissan commercials in the 90s. Life is a journey, enjoy the ride. So this kind of reminded me of that quote. But yeah, visually striking for sure. Mr. Roren, what were your thoughts?
I mean, I thought like it amazingly beautiful movie. Like it was very well acted, beautifully shot. I've seen a good chunk of the A24 catalog, and it has there's a good amount of them that are like this, that are like slow burn, like think pieces, where it's like not so much like a, where it's more of it's a very heady, like, you have to like sit with it.
Yeah.
And this is one of those. I'm not disappointed by it. Usually when you have a movie from them, this is, it's like, I think The Witch was the first one that I saw from them.
Okay.
That was like I basically expected a lot from it, and it was like more toned down than I thought it would be. Where it was like you watch it again without the expectation, and you enjoy it more. So I went into this without, like, I usually go into their movies like knowing I'm probably going to enjoy it,
right?
But I don't like put like a prize on it. I don't expect it to be like, what, like, I mean, and I hear complaints about a lot of their films from a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I mean, movies that I absolutely love, like The Lighthouse, Midsummer.
Yep.
Like, I mean, the list goes on there. I mean, they have such a tremendous 20th Century Women, Lady Bird. I mean, they're like, they have an amazing catalog.
They know how
films.
to pick them. Yeah, for sure.
And I'm just happy to add this one too.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it too. But again, I wanted a lot more.
Right.
Right. I was sort of expecting, like a Game of Thrones vibe.
Right.
We got that, but I'm kind of glad, because that was the aesthetic that they were going for. That's what I went for.
Yeah.
But I just wanted something more. I wanted a twist. I wanted stronger development from the supporting characters. It was just, I mean, I love Dev Patel, don't get me wrong, but there's just something missing here.
When I was telling people about this movie before the show, because I was so eager to talk about it, I was comparing it to 2001: A Space Odyssey. I mean, which is a great film, but there's something that's really elusive and cryptic about it, that's not immediately digestible. But I've heard from people who are huge fans that like when they read the novel and compared it to the film, then there was more understanding that came out of that experience. And I mean, I'm making my way through the book really quickly right now, the original poem, I'm sorry. And the character development is very different. It's more open-ended. I felt like in the film, there's more concretizing of the character and stuff like that, but it's worth reading, just to kind of get a different perspective. For sure.
And it's connected to the King Arthur legend.
Yeah. I mean, there's many characters, that are highlighted in here that are Arthurian legend. Even the way Arthur is portrayed in the film differs from, the poem. So. Yeah.
Awesome. Very good. Very good. All right. Well, I say see it. It's Dev Patel at his best so far. He's a young actor, and I don't think he's ever given a bad performance from my mind.
Not that I've seen. Yeah.
So I say see it.
See it.
Yep. And Mr. Harris, yes. Cool. All right. So I think we're just gonna take a short commercial break, but we'll be back with more movie reviews right after this.
Under the Radar is brought to you by Magnitude Jewelry. Add a 2 to match your attitude. Patent pending interchange genuine gemstone and crystal EMF protection jewelry. For more information, please visit magnitudejewelry.com/gemgirl or call 718-268-6634.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Randy Younger Under the Radar. And we've got two more movies to get through tonight. This second one, uh, I picked it basically. I love Michael McKean. I love everything he's done. Another Better Call Saul connection there.
Exactly.
He is basically playing God. That's the name of the movie. And it's about a brother and sister con artist duo that basically they want to scam Alan Tudyk's character, a billionaire. I think he's a billionaire. Yeah. Who's basically searching for God, searching for meaning after the tragic death of his daughter. So basically, this brother-sister team, they link up with Michael McKean, who's also he was in prison. Basically, have him pose as God, meet Alan Tudyk's character, and eventually break into his safe and basically rob him. But along the way, complications arise. So I thought this was a really clever film. I thought it was funny, very funny, actually, really well written. And of course, the cast. I just mentioned Michael McKean, Alan Tudyk. They're fantastic here. I also want to mention the half of the brother-sister duo, the sister, Hannah Kazuka. I think she was really good in this. Yeah. Plus, very pretty, but not just a pretty face. She had some depth to her. Her character was kind of deep. The brother-sister, they had a very complicated past themselves, which kind of explains why they're turning to a life of crime. So playing God, I was pleasantly surprised at how good this was. I really enjoyed it. Mr. Harris, your thoughts on the film?
Yeah, I enjoyed it as well. I thought that it was wholesome, especially in the end. The story overall, how the different characters happened to come together, was overall interesting as well. Visually, there was like this motif that they had going on that I really liked that came across well. Like there are several shots where they show large spaces and the characters are just kind of sitting in them, and it was almost like the idea of connecting to something larger, and kind of like reaching out through memory, and also loneliness. Yeah, like there were some scenes outside and inside a roller rink, so there's like a feeling of nostalgia there and everything like that. So I really did like those visual images, and the characters were great too. Like there were these two friends that the main character had. Let's see. That were fantastic as well. Really interesting. But yeah, I enjoyed it very much.
Yeah. And I think it owes a lot to Scott Brignac's script. He wrote and directed. And just, I don't know, the characters just seem really fluid, and like these could be real people, know. They just felt really grounded in reality, which I love.
Yeah. Ellie Lamont and Leighton B. Allen were the two friends, I believe. And Michael McKean is just so like lovable. Like, I saw him in the X-Files and stuff like that. He was a great character in there. Like
everything. He's just
I know.
funny actor. I want to see more of him,
Yeah.
And I think Better Call Saul is
oh my God, like his performance on that show is, I mean, I've been watching him since I was a wee lad.
Yeah.
From Laverne and Shirley. Wow. This is Spinal Tap, Clue, Clue, all those, when I was younger, through it all. And you don't get a better performance than him on Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
And the relationship between the two brothers is just phenomenal.
You feel for this guy. No spoilers really, but he in Better Call Saul, this is a slight tangent. He's living in a house. The windows are like covered. He's like bordered boarded up in his nice house, like not a mansion, but
supreme OCD.
Like covers himself in aluminum foil.
He can't be around like electricity.
He's got an allergic reaction.
Like if you visit him, you have to like leave your cell phone in the mailbox.
Right.
Like
I really got to see
around lights.
I want to see a movie about that character.
Oh,
that would be amazing.
And he's the head of a law firm.
Yeah.
So just think about that.
Brilliant.
And he is just, and it's just this love-hate relationship with his brother that is so well done. It's like such an outstanding performance.
I have 3 stepbrothers, but growing up I didn't have a brother, but I'm assuming that's kind of the dynamic you see.
It is. It's like this, it's like when you have a brother, it's like, and the whole thing of Slip and Jimmy that better Saul's past as a con man and like just a failure, a loser, and how his brother just like really supported him, but kind of like at the same time like held a grudge, resented him. He also, because I guess also his Saul Jimmy was like a favorite son,
right?
But
then again, he's also the black sheep of the family. He's not as successful as McKean's character.
And also the fact that when he becomes the lawyer, it's kind of like looked at as a joke. Like he doesn't take it seriously. It's such a tremendous relationship.
I think what season are they up to now? 4?
This is season 5. I think we're going into.
We'll save all this energy for that. I think we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we do.
but you know what? I wanted to mention going back a little bit. The Green Knight is it's now out in theaters, so go check that out. Same with Playing God. That's also in theaters. I think, but probably a more limited release.
I haven't seen it playing anywhere near me. But I looked and it wasn't playing anywhere.
I could definitely see this on Netflix coming very soon. So
it was good to see The Green Knight in theaters, by the way. It was very good to see it in theaters.
Yeah, it was. Seeing it on the big screen was fantastic.
And I want to mention that this was my first time back at the Midway Theater.
Oh yeah.
West Hills, Queens. The theater. I have so many memories. Ghostbusters 2, first movie, 1989. Batman. I had a temper tantrum. We had to leave early, but still.
At least you didn't leave and go into the alley. Girls everywhere.
Jesus, that went dark. But no, that's a good point. That's a good point.
So good.
And then you're like, if only I hadn't thrown that temper tantrum, I wouldn't be Batman.
Wow. Now I'm picturing my dad as Batman. That's weird.
Nice.
All right. It's definitely good. How did you see it? Were you in the theater to see this?
Batman?
No, with the Green Knight.
Green Knight. I'm like, I saw Batman 3 times in the theater. I made my mom see it 3 times.
That's awesome.
But Green Knight I did see in the theater. Yes.
Good.
Yes.
It's good to be back.
It's great to be back. Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, so Playing God now out in theaters, select theaters, I should say. And okay. Our final film. Actually, before we get to Rob, would you recommend Playing God to people?
Definitely, yeah. It's a lighthearted, comedic drama, very enjoyable.
Cool. I say see it as well. Matt,
go for it.
Yes, please do. All right, guys, and I saved this for last, and this is our final movie review. It's called Pig, and it stars Nicolas Cage as a truffle hunter. Didn't really know what that was, but that's a type of mushroom. And basically, he has a prized pig who helps him hunt for these truffles. But then somebody randomly steals his prized pig, and Cage's character basically goes on a hunt for his pig. He wants to find who took his pig, why. He just wants his pig back, really.
Someone took my pig.
Yeah, basically. It's basically John Wick, but no guns.
John Pig.
John Pig. I love it. And yeah, I've read a couple reviews, and I agree with them that this is one of Nick Cage's best performances.
It's one of those. It's like there are so many like different types of Nick Cage, and this is Oscar winner Nick Cage.
Yeah,
and I want to see him nominated for this film.
It's so crazy
because like he has. I mean, it's very rare that like he does a lot of great movies that are usually like great because he's batshit crazy.
Yeah.
Or great because he's understated crazy. This isn't understated crazy, but it's also like a top-notch performance.
Yeah.
One that we have not gotten from him in at least 2 decades.
See, he's so grumpy. He's so closed off and withdrawn from the world. It just works perfectly in his favor. I'm sure we were all assuming he was going to do his Cage rage, kind of go nuts and have one of those tantrums. But he doesn't in this, spoiler alert.
Just subdued.
Yeah.
And well, I when I saw it in the theater, it was me and like a bunch of high school kids behind me. They hated the movie.
Stupid.
They laughed through it, which bothered the hell out of me because there's nothing funny about this movie.
Right.
Like they laughed at it, and then when it ended without any like Cage rage, they were like super disappointed, and they were just like, that was garbage. Meanwhile, I'm just like, that was possibly the best movie I'm going to see in 2021.
I'm adding this to the list. Top 20 right now.
It's up there, man.
It might go up to top 10. I have a weird feeling about it. A good feeling.
It's a damn fine movie.
Rob, what were your thoughts on Pig?
First off, I actually had an almost identical experience to you, Matt. There was a gentleman behind me, and I could hear him sleeping halfway through the film.
I mean, it's a very quiet film, but
right?
Still, it's a very interesting film.
The movie ended, and I could hear him like grumbling. He's like, "Oh, give me my money back." I wanted to turn around and say, "Sir, like that was one of the finest films that I've seen like this whole year." Like,
I'm sorry your bed wasn't comfortable enough for you.
Like, come on.
Like, what a shitty hotel this is.
Yeah, it wasn't John Wick, that's for sure. But I absolutely love this film. The cinematography was gorgeous. In the beginning, he's walking in the forest with his pig, and there's like mist in the air and the sun is rising. It almost looks otherworldly. Like, it's absolutely gorgeous. And there's many masterful shots in it that are noteworthy.
I also want to mention the direction from Michael Sarnowski. This is actually his directorial debut. He wrote and directed. Also, the cinematography, which worked in concert with that, by Patrick Scola. So both men have put together like a beautiful mosaic.
Yeah, for this to be someone's directorial debut is what a feat.
That's crazy,
because it's like it happens every so often, and then it's like, well, where do you go from here?
Right.
Yeah, it's very
almost like you shot yourself in the foot, because it's like when you have such a strong debut, it's like it kind of reminds me. I don't know if it was his directorial debut, but Nicholas the director of Drive. Oh yeah. Yeah,
sorry.
That guy who's and then he did Only God Forgives,
right, which wasn't that great.
It was like Drive Light.
Yeah, right. But I wanted to go back to Nick Cage's career, and you mentioned his Oscar-nominated performances. He won in '95 for Leaving Las Vegas, also kind of depressed and withdrawn, but very, very different. Fantastic performance. He won the Oscar that year. Then he was nominated again for Adaptation, 2001. Yeah, a completely different movie. Yeah, more of a dramedy. And then I think this might be. I don't know if he's been nominated since then.
Yeah, I know, right? And
it was just those two nominations.
And he won. Did he win or get nominated for Moonstruck?
Yeah, I was going to say Moonstruck was another similar notable performance.
He was nominated for that. I know Cher won best actor.
I mean, if he wasn't nominated, he should have been.
Yeah. He's great. He's done some really great things. I've been following his career since I was a kid.
Same here. Yeah.
I think ever since The Rock. That was the first movie.
So weird because it's like, to me, like The Rock came out like I was like 15 or whatever.
I was 11.
So I've been following his career since like Valley Girl.
But no, after The Rock, I went back and revisited.
But I think the first movie I saw, Peggy Sue Got Married was the first movie I saw him in.
Nice.
And then I saw Valley Girl after that. But.
Nice. And then I saw like random ones like Firebirds.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and then like once you hit the 90s, like I mean,
He's
I started seeing everything he saw, like everything he put out. I saw in the movies.
Yeah.
You know, like
I remember seeing. Actually, I think I went back further as the first movie I saw. It might have been Trapped in Paradise. 1994.
I love that movie.
Yeah, that same year he did. It Could Happen to You.
Yep. That
was a great year it's a great time. The early to mid 90s.
I loved him in the Coen Brothers movie.
Raising Arizona.
Arizona.
That was an early role.
One of the best.
Yeah. But I always wanted to see Mandy. I heard like visually like it was really interesting. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I wanted to see him in that.
That and Color Out of Space. I would recommend.
Color Out of Space is fantastic.
I would recommend a double feature.
Yeah.
Because they're both.
I mean, he's been on a good kick lately. Yeah. Willy's Wonderland was a lot of fun. It's like a lot of fun. He doesn't say a single word in the movie.
Kind of like
it's similar. But I mean, it's just like a Five Nights at Freddy's style movie where basically it's like Five Nights at Freddy's meets Nothing But Trouble.
Oh wow!
Where like he goes to this town, they confiscate his car, and they tell him the only way to get his car back is to be the janitor overnight in a haunted Chuck E. Cheese type restaurant.
Right.
And there are these kids who know the place is haunted and they break in to try to save him, but he just like ignores them because he just wants to do his janitorial work. So he can just get his car back and leave. And he's like so stuck to the job that he doesn't let these kids get in the way of him.
Right.
So they're just in their own way, fighting their own battle, and he's there. It's insane, and it's phenomenal.
I can only think of two actors that could pull that off. It would be Cage and Bruce Campbell.
Bruce Campbell would have to do it with lines, though. I think Cage is the only person who can pull it off silently.
True.
And then he also did Mom and Dad.
Oh yeah, which awesome.
Is insane. You know, where basically there's this unknown source that causes all parents to try to murder their children.
His past 5 films have been batshit crazy.
Yeah. And then there was that one that we reviewed together that was just like the most mediocre pile of garbage I've ever. I don't remember.
It's either like mediocre as boring, or really twisted.
But like he's had a really, really grand 5 years.
It's like a sort of a renaissance, I want to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because before this, it was just National Treasure, Lord of War.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the National Treasure movies are fantastic.
Yeah, those are fun. And Matchstick Men. So
year
before that. So I love his career.
Yeah.
I love watching anything he's in. Vampire's Kiss. I watched that fairly recently.
Incredible.
Rewatched.
Incredible. Obviously, Con Air and Face Off.
Oh my God.
Face Off, man.
The Rock, Snake Eyes.
We're going to be doing, this is just I think I mentioned this, we're going to do commentaries in the future for The Rock, Face Off, and Con Air. Maybe Gone in 60 Seconds. Too.
Well, Con Air Con Air I'm a definite for.
Yes.
Like Face Off most likely. But Con Air is like my bread and butter.
Yeah, that's just a ridiculous. That was like the period of late 90s. Like, let's have the most ridiculous concept. Let's put every horrible convict and killer, put them on one plane.
And that cast.
Yeah.
It's like you got Malkovich, Buscemi, Ving Rhames,
Danny Trejo.
You got
in there.
Dave
Chappelle, man. And the others.
John Cusack is
right.
Cole Meany.
Thank you, from Star Trek.
Yeah. Cole Meany is the supreme asshole.
Right.
I love in movies he's always like the biggest dick ever.
Yeah.
And
but he goes from like the nicest guy who operates the transporter.
Oh yeah,
to this role.
It's like on Star Trek he's so nice, and everything else he's in he's a horrible person.
It's ridiculous.
And my favorite part of Con Air, sorry to take this so far out, is that when they offered the role to John Cusack, he was like, "Fine, I'll do it, but only if I wear sandals the entire movie."
So that was like,
and it's like, why?
His one condition.
His one condition was he wore sandals.
Yeah.
So his character just wear sandals.
They were like Birkenstocks. Right?
Yeah. Just like, why? Like, it's just, he's like, I don't like shoes. Like, what?
So odd. Rob, what are some of your favorite Cage performances?
I mean, like I said, Raising Arizona, I like Face Off. I was actually just talking to one of my coworkers about Face Off, and she was saying, like, yeah, like there was that time in the 90s where they were just making like, one like great, like interesting, wild action film after another. So I really like that. Moonstruck was one of the first that I think I've ever saw him in as a kid. And it's still, just really a great watch and endearing to revisit from time to time. Great love story.
He took my hand.
It's Cosmo's Moon. But
Chrissy, over by the wall. Give me the big knife.
I won't do it.
No, Ronnie. Yeah. I think we may have to do an entire episode dedicated to Cage. Yeah,
Wild at Heart, David Lynch's
I've never seen
Wizard
it.
of Oz
I have
masterpiece.
never seen it.
That's one of my favorites.
Red Rock
too.
West.
Oh yeah,
That was pretty good.
David Lynch has Wizard of Oz.
It's yeah. So Wild at Heart it's like it loosely like parallels Wizard of Oz, and like there's a lot of imagery from Wizard of Oz within it.
Interesting.
It's insane. It's so good, and also has the greatest head explosion ever filmed.
Wait, better than Scanners?
Better than Scanners.
Whoa. Better than that movie with Chrissy Swanson as a robot?
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
What is that called?
What is that? Oh my God.
Deadly Girlfriend?
Something
weird. Wow.
But
all right.
Yeah, I think it's Willem Dafoe too.
Nice.
Who was like a shotgun blast in the head. It's like
No, I think it was well in the robot movie. Somebody Chrissy Swanson throws a basketball at the Goonies woman. What's her name? The old lady in the
Anne
Ramsey.
Mm-hmm.
Throws a basketball at her head and it explodes. So that stuck with me as a kid.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Matt, for you, top Nicolas Cage performances. Top three.
Top three is I would say. Narrowing down top three. All right.
Come on.
I'm gonna go with just based on Cage and Cage alone. I'm gonna go The Vampire's Kiss.
Ooh yeah.
I'm gonna go Wild at Heart.
Nice.
And Raising Arizona.
Okay.
It's like I'm always like my body always tells me that I want to put Con Air there, but it's such a great ensemble piece.
Yeah.
That I can't just go on put the bunny in the box.
Cameron Poe.
Her name was Cameron Poe.
Right. Let's see my little girl. It's her birthday. But for me, like I mentioned, The Rock, because he plays such a nerdy guy who turns this like action hero halfway through, towards the end actually. There's that. I like actually Guarding Tess. That was a lot of fun.
That's a good one.
And his relationship, his chemistry with Shirley MacLaine is like perfect.
Yeah.
It's so funny. And
great banter.
The first couple minutes of Face Off where he plays Castor Troy, where he's the villain.
Castor Troy, the most overstated crazy man that ever lived.
Cage at his cage.
Oh yeah, that's like him walking around grabbing girls by the feet.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
As in a priest costume.
We're doing a commentary. It's settled. I wanted to mention. I want to go back.
Akira Petra was.
There you go. So, Mandy and Color Out of Space were both films starring Cage as the leading role. They have the same editor, Brett W. Bachman, and also the three movies start in a forest. Both Pig and Mandy are in 3 chapters with different titles.
Yeah.
So, random trivia for that. And Pig is now out in theaters, so go check that out. Also, I wanted to mention some coming attractions for this week. the Ryan Reynolds sci-fi action comedy Free Guy, which I'm not the only thing I really like him in is the Deadpool's. Other than that,
I'm a lifelong Ryan Reynolds fan.
Okay.
I was a huge fan of Two Guys, a Girl, and the Pizza Place when that was on, and I've pretty much followed him ever since.
Okay.
I'm usually a big, although I did not care. I haven't gone to see the Bodyguards, girlfriends, husbands, wives.
They're not
neighbor.
They're mindless
But-
entertainment. They're very, very silly, but they're worthwhile.
But I just enjoy him.
Yeah. Okay. What's the movie? Total brain fart on Ryan Reynolds. You've been following his career?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Oh, what happened? Now I remember. What happened to that Fletch project? Wasn't he going to be Fletch?
That I don't know.
It was called Fletch 1.
Because initially it was Jason Lee was supposed to play Fletch,
right? And
when Kevin Smith was
gonna be
doing it,
right.
And then I think that got scrapped, and then I didn't hear anything about him playing.
They
Fletch,
kind of just abandoned it.
Yeah, it's one of those things that's like never gonna happen.
I hope it does because I love Fletch. I mean,
Fletch is great.
Yeah, I never saw the sequel.
Oh, it's great.
It looks ridiculous. But
Yeah, it's totally absurd.
I'll check it out. Rob, are you a Ryan Reynolds enthusiast?
I don't know. I really haven't seen too much of his work. I mean, I saw the first Deadpool movie a long time ago.
Yeah. 2016, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and the second one was definitely fun. For sure. Like they're really just like over the top.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I might see this film. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It might help me to be an Olympic star, but
yeah. It looks ridiculous. I'll definitely check it out. Definitely on a big screen because it looks like it's like a sci-fi spectacle. So that's Free Guy. Also this week, sequel to Don't Breathe 2. I actually heard good things about the first one.
The first one is fantastic.
Yeah. It's a horror thriller.
I mean it's it's like a good like suspenseful, break-in movie. It's definitely worth seeing.
Plus, I love Stephen Lang. Obviously, Avatar. He plays the general. He was also the villain in The Hard Way, 1991.
Oh wow!
Yeah, James Woods, Michael J. Fox.
James Woods, Michael J. I haven't seen that movie in forever.
That is an awesome action comedy. It's great. I love it. It's very nostalgic.
Nice. I do believe I have a VHS copy of it for sale at Pickle Island.
Oh, I may have to come over. I've been meaning to come over, but now I really want to go. All right. We also have a drama. Actually, this one sounds pretty interesting. It's called Coda, and it's basically as a Coda child of deaf adults, Ruby is the only hearing person in her deaf family. When the family's fishing business is threatened, Ruby finds herself torn between pursuing her love of music and her fear of abandoning her parents. And it's got, I think, an all or mostly deaf cast, including Marlee Matlin, who I forget the title she won the Oscar for in the 80s, right?
Yeah.
I think it was Children of a Lesser God.
Yeah.
And she's been working ever since.
Yeah.
And this movie, it's about the deaf community. It sounds like it might be on par or as important as Sound of Metal was last year, which was also about the deaf community. So check that out. It's called Coda.
Yeah, we've definitely been seeing a lot more deaf, because even Quiet Place,
Yep. Millicent Simmons, who is phenomenal, is the deaf daughter. So yeah, a lot of deaf actors coming up. Also, we may be reviewing this on the show. Respect, the story of legendary R&B singer Aretha Franklin, played by Jennifer Hudson. It's also got Forrest Whitaker, Marlon Wayans, Mark Maron, as we mentioned earlier, Titus Burgess, and Mary J. Blige. So it's a pretty well-rounded cast for that. I smell Oscar in that movie's future.
Yeah, it's definitely like, it's that time. It's like, end of summer, release the Oscar bait biopic. Here it is. There's some things in the trailer that have angered me already. That hopefully when the movie comes out, it's just poorly edited for the trailer to get people into it.
Yeah.
But there's some like historical facts that in the trailer kind of leads you to believe are true that are not true.
Okay.
So it's usually I'm wrong and it's just editing.
Right.
But I hope to God that it's just editing in this case.
Well, yeah, let's hope so. And I love Jennifer Hudson.
Yeah, I think she's great, and I mean, I love Aretha, and I'm looking forward to it for that.
And I'll be honest, I don't know a lot other than Respect and some of other songs. So I think this is going to be a really interesting biography, kind of an education on her life. So really important for kids who are interested in that music, especially. So that's Respect. Next up, we've got a Dutch war thriller called The East. And then we have a Hong Kong Chinese action crime movie called Raging Fire. It's written, produced, and directed by Benny Chan in his final directorial effort before his death on August 23rd of last year. So, and I checked out some of his filmography. It looks like some very good stuff. So check that out. It's called Raging Fire. That should be good. And rounding out the list of coming attractions, we've got EMA, E-M-A, EMA or Emma. It's a Chilean film. It's a drama, and it's basically a couple deals with the aftermath of an adoption that goes awry as their household falls apart. And it's got Gael Garcia Bernal, who we know most recently from Old.
Yep.
I've loved him for many years. Actually, the first thing I may have saw him in was The Science of Sleep, which
probably Michel Gondry.
Yeah, 2006. All practical effects, beautiful.
Yeah.
They use like cotton balls as clouds, and it's a very surreal, very beautiful love story. Yeah. So that is Emma or Emma. And so that rounds out what's coming out this week. Rob, anything you're looking forward to? Anything I mentioned?
Definitely looking forward to Respect, the Aretha Franklin film. Should be interesting to say the least. Like just a total magnet in the music world, instantly recognizable. So eager to see that for sure. That definitely sounds really interesting too.
The which? I'm sorry.
Coda, and also the Benny Chan film Raging Fire. I'd really like to learn more about. Those are on my radar.
I may have to check out his filmography myself because it does sound interesting. But Coda and Respect for me, those are like at the top. Like this is a good week for that.
It's definitely a week. Most of those are on my to see list. So.
Cool. Sweet. All right, guys. So I just want to go around now. We have a couple minutes left. Go around and do some plugs. Mr. Harris, anything going on? Anything you want to mention to the public?
I really just have to give a big thank you to Book Review in Huntington, 313 New York Avenue. They got me a copy of Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. It was kind of last minute. Like after I saw the film, I kept thinking about it.
Right down the street from my house.
Oh, that's awesome. That's cool.
I got blocks from my house.
Yeah, they've got some big names there too.
Yeah,
I've seen.
It's really like
they're going out of business as a store.
Oh man, I hope that's not true. Is that
I'm pretty sure we were like looking up places to rent and their location came up.
That's so crazy.
Which I was like, oh shit.
Didn't they have like Bill Clinton there?
Oh yeah, multiple times. They always like slash like Newt Gingrich is there all the time.
Oh man.
Michael Moore.
Bruce Campbell was
Bruce
there.
Campbell's been there a couple times.
Yeah, I've always been. I've meant to go to some of those signings, but it never happened.
They usually whoever's at the Paramount, they usually like do a thing with them too.
Cool.
So
okay, so Book Review, if they're still in, maybe they're doing a website.
They think they're doing online sales.
Okay, well they're not completely out of the
woods.
Okay,
they're great there. I mean, they hooked me up with like this great used copy of Sir Gawain, and it's like only $4, and they're really happy to help you. They're very passionate. So sorry to hear that the store might be closing, but check them out.
And that makes me really miss. There used to be here in Forest Hills a local Barnes and Noble. They closed, I think, about 2-3 years ago, and they opened up a Target. I mean, I have nothing against Target, but they ripped something out of the foundation of Forest
And
Hills.
it's also like a bookstore that didn't go out of business. If it was a Borders, I understand they all went under.
Right.
But Barnes and Noble, that's weird.
Right. Well, there's still locations, thankfully.
Yeah.
So they're good. They're good. One of my favorites in Union Square, Barnes and Noble. I love that
a
place.
big one.
There's a Strand, like downtown. 14th Street.
Strand.
That's like my favorite bookstore ever. Like I love just walking around there for hours.
Is that a landmark? Because I have a feeling it should be if it's not.
It's I know they're constantly struggling.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it should be a landmark.
Wow.
That bookstore should be there forever. But
hey, Matt, I think you touched on it briefly, but what are you looking to go back? What are you looking forward to in theaters?
With what?
What are you looking forward to in theaters that I mentioned?
Oh, like I said like most of them.
Okay, just check.
Yeah.
Just didn't want to leave you out.
Oh yeah, no.
All right. Cool. And plugs for you.
I got Pickle Island. It's my store in Bayville, New York. We sell pickles, music, movies, DVD, CD, comics, and assorted other goods. We just put in a slushy machine.
Good.
So now we have lemonade, maple lemonade, and Arnold Palmer slushies, which is awesome.
Ooh, wow.
And so I'm doing that, and then there should be a new Matt Roren character experience video dropping soon.
Okay.
Filming it this week, and so hopefully when this airs, I should have a new video. So check out MRKE on YouTube.
The karaoke experience. Yep. Awesome. And I just want to mention to our viewers, you can check out new episodes of Under the Radar on Manhattan Neighborhood Network every Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern. You could also check out the show on cable channels FiOS 34, RCN 83, and Spectrum 56 and 96. And it's a great channel as well on Manhattan Neighborhood Network. It's actually the lifestyle channel. So exercise your mind, body, and palate with entertainment and lifestyle programming for New Yorkers with interests as diverse as our city. So that's Manhattan Neighborhood Network. Check it out. Guys, I want to thank you so much, Mr. Roren. Always a pleasure, sir.
Look, I can touch him.
Yep.
It's that weird.
It's real. He's real.
He's here.
Reaching out to you guys.
Oh, there he is.
Once again, my hand goes through. I touch him.
It's an interactive show, guys.
Whoa.
But Mr. Harris, I want to thank you as always. Both of you, you're great guests. And Rob, I hope to have you on this side of the screen in the future.
Okay.
And who are we talking to? If all three of us are here.
Ooh, that's deep. That's deep.
Whoa.
Awesome. Well, guys, I want to thank you again. Thank you for watching. And I'm Randy Unger. This is Under the Radar. We'll see you next time. Take care.